What's going on, everybody? Wonderful people of the world. If you want to make some money tomorrow during NFP and you trade Forex, crypto, indices, stocks, maybe even, I highly advise you to stay for the rest of the video only because I'm about to go through the whole market. And I don't know exactly where the best setup is going to be yet, but I'm going to find it. And if you want to make some money with us tomorrow, you might want to stick through the whole analysis. So my name is Peyton Pilgrim. I'm the Next Wave analyst. Been trading for almost 5 years now. We are funded by FTMO, and AB recently funded by what's that other one? It doesn't matter. But we have been trading for a collective 8 years together, almost 9, and we're ready to make some money tomorrow during NFP. So let's check out the market. We're going to start with the dollar. We always start with the dollar because it helps us really just determine what's going to happen with the rest of the market. When the dollar is bullish, everything else is bearish pretty much. And when the dollar is bearish, everything else is bullish pretty much, right? You don't have to look too far into it. It's not super 100% correlated like that. Nothing is 100% in trading, but this just gives our probabilities a nice, I'm on EU, gives our probabilities a nice, a nice higher, I guess a higher probability, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let's check it out. I like to look at the dollar on the futures market because I'm a big volume trader, okay? And the futures market gives you really good volume because it gives it to you from well, most of these are from the CME brokers. Here we go, the CME contracts. This is the only other, I guess, US dollar futures that they have on TradingView. So that's just what I look at. And this is what we've marked off at the beginning of the week. We can look at the daily and see that, the past, couple days have been kind of bullish into this area where we've marked off this zone for the Fed hike and the NFP. This area is ultimately really where I think the market could react. When we go on to the 4 hour, this is where it gets interesting, right? So we've marked this fib off from this swing high to this swing low, and we've hit the 78.6. And this is ultimately where I've wanted to see the market react, right at this interesting volume point of control right here. And it is reacting. But what I'm seeing is the momentum is starting to increase. So is this thing just going to start to break to the upside, or is it going to hold and continue this channel right here? No one knows really, but it does look like it could be starting to pause here. The daily is not showing that, right? The daily with the price action is pretty much saying we're going to continue up. The volume with this, and we can go ahead and delete this one now. The volume with this, it is kind of bullish. It's not the biggest volume ever, but it is still bigger than average. So this isn't screaming reversal just yet. What I'm going to do, because I do want to try to find a move on the dollar tomorrow. And ultimately with the Fed talking about nothing, basically just continuing to raise rates. What's up, my boy? What up, AB? Master Trader AB in the house. But with the Fed still talking about raising rates, I don't think the dollar is done going up yet on like a more of a macro scale, more of a macro perspective. And you can see this weekly candles already maybe showing us the drill. Now, here's what could happen tomorrow. If this begins to reverse and prints and maybe closes somewhere right here tomorrow, this will have a wick, right? And it will close with a candle that looks like this. And that could be a sign for lower prices. So we would ultimately need to see the dollar completely erase yesterday's candle, which could happen, but predicting that it's kind of like not the easiest thing to do, I guess. So what I am going to try to do though, instead of playing the bullish dollar, what I want to look for is this area. I do want to look for this area to react to the downside. So I'm going to wait for some type of confirmation, which for me will be divergence. I need to see this momentum kind of creep down a little bit and then come up like this. If it happens just like this into NFP, well, then it's meant to be. So this would look something like this, coming down a little bit, maybe even breaking this low, thinking, the trend is, going to start to reverse. Then it makes one more move up. This would be a fake move, and we would see the market making a higher high, but the momentum making a lower low. If we get that move tomorrow, I'm going to be looking for this to sell off. Just a reversal off the news, basically, and coming basically into this manipulation area. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow, if we still have a picture perfect divergence look. And for all my next wave people in the premium channel, all the students, I will let y'all know if this still holds or not. There is an interesting area of volume sitting down here. So if the market does tank into this, we might look to buy it back up because of how bullish it actually is. So it all depends on how the news really moves. I don't even care much what the news says. Ultimately, the dollar should still go up, but I want to try to catch this correction, because it could still correct in this correction that it's in. It could just start to correct, one more move down, and then it could move up. You don't know. It's an opportunity. It's a good probability to play. So we're going to wait for it if we get the confirmation, right? AB is going to give us some confirmation with RB as well to see if the dollar is going to look. That's another good tool that we use in next wave. So we're going to actually go into the currency pairs. I usually don't. I usually go into the futures, but I'm going to stick at and look at the currencies today. So let's go to the future. Let's go to the Forex and look at everything. So UCAD. I don't love UCAD. I don't love to trade it. It's not my favorite pair at all. But let's look at it on the weekly. It definitely has showing signs of a big distribution pattern on the weekly. But really, if we're just looking at, I'm kind of seeing something like that possibly. Let's go to the daily. And if this isn't an inverted or a head and shoulders, sorry, I don't know what is. So I usually don't care for these too much. And this is white. So let me go ahead and change this to no. There we go. So we got the head and shoulders right there, obviously, more or less. And I'm not the biggest head and shoulder guy. I just usually go like this, but this is kind of looking clean. If this can start to reverse, if the dollar starts to reverse, it's in an interesting area, I guess. So I don't love this fib, and it doesn't even matter because it's not really in that spot. More or less it is, but it doesn't have any confirmation for me. The impulse is just too impulsive. It hasn't necessarily switched this structure yet. So it's something to look for. I would say definitely, even right here, if it can come back up a little bit, even maybe look for this move at the 78.6, because I'm seeing a possible move, but it could just start to die off, form the divergence, and then pop. So you got to really watch for the manipulation during the news. But I do like the way this looks for a move down. This would be an area to watch out for a move up, to be honest. Let's make this full screen and let's get into this. All right, we're going to the Swiss franc weekly real quick just to see, give it a quick peep, and then dip out. Okay, bullish, very bullish. I'm not gonna go against this. I think it probably will close bullish. Or if it doesn't, then we'll have a really good idea of what's gonna happen next week. But really, I don't think I want to play against this. The volume is still kind of increasing here. It's not the highest volume, so it is kind of diverging, but the volume is increasing the day after the day. So I don't want to play against that. Most likely, when you see increasing volume, you're going to get this high broken. So this would be like an example of that. You get the increasing volume right here, and then the high ends up breaking. There's a bunch of examples, but we're not going to obviously go into every example. Yeah, this was a perfect hit. And now it's kind of hit this extension. It could make one more move up to that full extension, which is what I think is going to happen. So let's try to find a bullish move. Yeah. Okay. So this is the weekly volume profile, right? And the past 2 weeks, this area has been hot, extremely hot. So, and then the week before, a little bit lower even, but this is also the 50 EMA. Let's go into the 1 hour and see what this level is talking about. All right. There's also another interesting volume level down here. So those are the two areas where I want to see some reaction at the bare minimum from this. We had this manipulation, and that was the news, and then the rate hike. So if it can make it past all of this, which I don't even think I think it will probably react here. I don't think it'll get down into this 78.6. But if it can get into this price, I do think we'll see a reaction of something. So I'll wait for this. And I do think that this is going to continue bullish. We have a very nice impulse here. To make it to the 78.6 is asking a lot, to be honest. So it might even be worth just playing this swing right there. But you know me, I'm the least riskiest trader, So I'm waiting for this move. I think there's going to be one more and then a move up. Definitely. Yeah, because if it gets to the 78.6, depending on how it gets there, I might think this is a reversal, because this is probably what's going to happen is it will probably just come down in here and then take out these highs and then make this correction down, and we'll have to adjust this fib, and it won't look this pretty, but we'll have to adjust that fib, and that brings this up a little higher, and depending on how high that goes, and then we'll have to decide if this was a topping pattern or if this is a correctional move. And it's really all about how it corrects, and we know that. So we'll see. Let's go into the euro, which is really at an interesting spot. I got too much draw on this, so let's just remove everything. All right, extreme downtrend on the weekly, and the weekly candle's about to print super bearish. I don't like this one. Let's go to the daily, and this is also in that channel-ish, same. I mean, it might be breaking out of that channel. So what's up? What's really about to go down? Let me just do something real quick. Control C and bring this to like that. All right. So sometimes I'll be doing like that. This still hasn't broken out of this parallel channel. If that's how we're going to go with it, you can be very subjective with trend lines. That's why we don't draw them. What I'm seeing, in my opinion, is this would be the structure swing, and it still hasn't quite broken this yet. So as long as this doesn't break below here, I think this has a chance to still make this move up. I do. I think it's possible. We talked about it on the weekly analysis about this move, and it is here. It's rejecting it. It's moving up. It could fly. I usually like to see a little bit more chop right here, and then it move up, not just like a V. I don't play those. So 4 hour is what I'm really going to be focusing on. And it's basically the inverse of the dollar, right? I'm looking for this to kind of come up a little bit and then form some type of divergence. And ultimately, I'm going to play the divergence on the 1 hour because of how extended it is, in my opinion. It's not even getting that extended anymore. The closer it gets to the EMA, and I don't care, it doesn't matter what this EMA is. Don't ask me. The closer it gets to the EMA, the closer it is to a balanced market. And right here, it was very far away. And that's why you saw this correction. Probably on the 15-minute time frame, this was diverging. I'm waiting for one more leg of divergence to happen. And then I think that's going to be not the bottom, but a possible bottom for this to start to correct a little bit more, at least back into this area of manipulation. Once it gets into here, though, if it gets into here first, I might have to try to sell it just because it's a good opportunity. These wicks kind of has me thinking it's going to get filled for some stupid reason. I don't know. I see volume right here though, and manipulation there. It's the textbook setup that we look for. So we're gonna most likely play it. It's not in the area that we look to play it, but it is still a textbook setup. So that 78.6, as long as this market doesn't go any lower, 99.25-ish is perfect. And then if it does go lower, it might have to get bought up by the divergence king. And that's a next wave thing. So hopefully the next wave students can get some divergence trades tomorrow. Okay, EA is a pair I never trade. I'm about to take it off my watch list, but I know other people trade it. It didn't want to break this level I had marked off. I think it's most likely going to make another move to the upside soon, but it's the reason why I don't love EA is because it depends on the euro and the Aussie, and they more or less do the same thing a lot of the time. So it takes like 1 or 2 days out of the week, and then that's how this thing really moves, in my opinion. I don't love trading it. So let's just go to the 1 hour real quick, and if it has a setup, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And technically, it does have somewhat of a reaccumulation setup right here. And we have this sweep out. And if it comes all the way back down, maybe look for this move up. That's the only thing I'm seeing on this. I wouldn't really look for it to just break through this low. If it does break through the low, this could be a distribution, and this could start to really sell off. So I would watch how it corrects. If it corrects with low volume, then it's most likely going to make another move up. If it doesn't correct with low volume, it starts to kind of hunt down. It's testing these lows again, and it could either sweep the lows and go up again, or sweep and not sweep and just tank. So I'm staying away from EA. I might put an alert here just to see how it gets to this untested volume. But I don't have any alerts on for anything else, which I'm just going to quickly put an alert here for divergence. Oh, perfect. Okay, so if it comes down there, I might have to put my stop loss below this wick low and take a shot to the upside. And then if it comes up here, you boy might have to take a sell. We got good opportunities everywhere. Let's go into EG now, because EG is actually moving. It doesn't move a lot. It does not at all. But weekly, it's in the middle, literally, of a weekly range. But on the daily, it's starting to look very bullish, in my opinion. I remember way back when, man, we really did call this whole thing out in live action. Everyone should just go back and look at when we were trading EG back here. But now we're here. So let's look and see what we're looking at. I'm pretty sure I think this is going to continue to the upside. It did not hit the 78.6 of the swing. If you were being stingy, it hit this one. So it's got some good moves, good volume. We're getting the impulse in the MACD on the daily. It's starting to turn up a little bit. Let's go to the 4 hour, because that'll really show us where we are. And the impulse is what I'm looking at. So this here is the biggest we've seen since over here, and that was September 23rd. And so the last time the market made a big impulse here, obviously that's a little bit of an outlier. So we need to go look at something else that had like a big move after there was not a big move. Okay, I'm not about to sit through EG, because EG can get boring. But ultimately, there was just a ton of divergence. The momentum was like, hey, I'm getting ready to explode. And then boom, it exploded. So now when it retraces, if I guess it retraces, I want to be a part of that. And I would say, obviously, this open volume right here is perfect for a move. I'll just put an alert here, but I want to go to the 1 hour and see, because I guess the swing right here is what I'm looking at, but it could just, yeah, let's not even talk anymore because that's perfect. I was gonna say we could do it right here, but that was too perfect. So that lines up with the 78.6 perfectly. If we can get a good retracement. So you got to watch out with EG because it's freaking weird. It'll do this stuff like really fast on you. These aren't impulsive though. You see how these are more corrective moves? Corrective. This was like about to be corrective, and then it said, nah, we're impulsing this time. So now if it corrects nicely, I'm looking for that another move back into this. It's perfect. Oh, the squad. What's up, Mike? What's up, Blake? Blizzy Blake Rogers. Blizzy Blake Rogers. All right. On the 1 hour though, it makes me want to move this fib really bad. I don't think it's gonna sweep this low out. Low key, I don't even think it's gonna sweep this low out. Honestly, I'm gonna say it even like this. Yeah, I don't even think it's gonna sweep this low out, but I'm gonna keep it 100 and actually put the man. I want to put the swing from right here and play the 78.6 right there, but I'm just gonna chill out and wait. This is an area where we need to watch for divergence, honestly, because it could easily sell off a lot of supply here and a lot of supply here. So there's been a ton of bears, a ton of sellers chilling right here. And we just tapped into it one time. So it did tap into this, it didn't tap into that. So let's make this box equivalent to these two open volumes. And it barely hit, actually, it didn't. It didn't tap that yet. So I do think we're going to have one more move to the upside still. You can see how it just kind of barely missed this red line right here. That's an open daily volume. It's where the highest price was of that day, highest traded volume, I guess, of that day. And it barely missed it. So there's most likely going to be that one more move that I would love. We got to break it down to the 15 now. Oh, I'm getting risky. This is a form of Wyckoff, in my opinion. It's kind of really ugly. This is that first look, and then we're getting that 1-2. I think we're gonna see a 3, and then boom, 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 and then a retracement. The retracement is hopefully going to be nice and slow, but probably not. Going to be a little quicker than most people want it to be. And then once it gets down here, we're going to want to see this flipped around on its butt. So this would be the 1, and then 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So I just drew exactly what EG is going to do. When it does this, we're going to attack. All right. Next. If you don't draw all the pictures like that on your chart, it's not going to happen like that. On GU, it's looking kind of like you might not want to try to buy, maybe. It looks very much bearish. So I would wait. If you're trying to buy it, let's go to the lower time frames and just look, because it does have a W, and a lot of people play this double bottom. It has lower volume on this move, so that's good. But I like to see the momentum like not look like it's about to just blow through a new hole in the ceiling floor. So I do think this could go up a little bit, but then I think we're going to make this new low. Once it makes this new low, then I'm going to look for a move up. I think the market is overextended, but this momentum is starting to pick up a little bit. This is starting to turn up a little bit. That's the sign that the momentum could spike. But after a big momentum move like this, usually I'll get that divergence. My spidey senses are tingling with this one. So let this do something like that. And I'm telling you, when we get this move, if y'all have been trading with me, you've seen this on my charts since 2018. So just wait for this one. I'm telling y'all. Or hopefully you're in already. You catch some pips. Okay, let's go. This one, ooh, I really wanted this one to come up. I had it fibbed out like right here and it didn't come up. And then I had it fibbed out right here and it didn't come up. And so now at this point, I don't trade GBP CAD very much, but it does look like it's about to start to drop out. We had this pattern kind of drawn out the beginning of the week, like really quickly. And it pretty much did exactly that. And you can see when there's this much divergence, and I call it 3 waves, 1, 2, 3. When the market makes 3 waves to the upside, it makes 3 new highs, but the momentum does not. It's a market maker strategy, it's a momentum strategy, it's all of that together. And I mean, boom, tank. I just didn't get my entry because I'm petty in a way when it comes to this market. So this hopefully for the swing traders now can come up into this area and then sell off again, because that's ultimately what it looks like. There's still a lot of imbalance down in here, and there's still this open volume, which is a weekly point of control. So as the time frames go up, the volume levels that are open get more and more and more important. So when I'm on the lower time frames, they're just like a daily volume, but the weekly volumes are on the 4-hour, and then the monthly volumes are on the daily. So if you see any of these red lines that haven't been tapped yet, like right here, this is a weekly volume level that is super important. So I don't give a fuck about Nick Sean's support and resistance levels. These are the real levels. No, that boy low key making money though. Same thing with GBP Swiss. I don't love to trade it, but it's having it gave that same divergence look with the 3 waves, and then it kind of broke off this trend line and just started to die down a little bit. I still think there is this possibility way down here for this buy. It's not even close to that, so we don't have to look at that at all. It's the same look. I don't think it would be tomorrow if you're looking to sell this. That would be the play. But for me, I got to wait for it to come way up here. And even at that point, this isn't my pair. So there's the imbalance. That would be the target. If you're looking for it to drop tomorrow, that would probably be the area where I would look to get out. But that's not my pair. That's really not my pair. This isn't my pair either, but we called this out already. Or I guess AB called this out. He was looking at this as a good swing opportunity, and man, it has started to swing. So it hit the 78.6, played around for a little bit, and then dropped. The reason I was okay with this one is because it had a divergence. And so it dropped out. We were going to try to attack it again. It didn't hit that. It just started to fall more. So to me, GA does look like a good opportunity for this to crush through this low. You see the momentum is starting to pick up, as in there is no divergence. It's converging. So as long as the market is converging, I think we're going to get another wave to the downside, which if you're looking on the 15-minute, you could probably draw it from right here. From the higher time frame, I would just stick with that. There's the yesterday's point of control. So it could come all the way up to 76.61 and then fall off, which means you might want to just play this, honestly, and wait for it to come, take out these highs, and then roll through one more time. That looks really good to me, to be honest. There's been a lot of congestion right here. And so if the market were to make it all the way back up there, I do think it would spike this and drop. And I don't even care for GA, but for some reason that just looks ridiculous. But you'd have to really be patient and wait. So it's just a patience thing. To get it to the upside would not be my play. It isn't a demand area, higher time frame. If it shows some divergence and then starts to impulse, like maybe makes a new low and then reverses instantly, then maybe on the lower time frame you could catch a buy to catch the retrace. That would be the only way possible that I would even think about it. But that's it. AU. So AU came into this little area and it would have stopped me out if I was trading it. I'm not trading AU. I don't usually trade AU. I like to stick with the DXY pairs, other than AU and NU really. And I don't love UCAD, but this is interesting. This is in a monthly point of control. So AU is sitting at October's month, the month of October's point of control. I'm going to keep that right there. Let's go into the, that's very interesting actually. If I'm taking it from absolute low to high, it's not there yet. If I'm taking it from this, it's hitting that. I'm gonna keep it right here and just look at the 4 hour. And the reason I'm looking at this because in this interesting area right now of volume of October, I think there's going to be a reaction here, and I don't want to even trade it. It's going to be the same thing for me though. It's too bearish. The momentum is too much for me to just buy it. It needs to break up one more leg down and then look for this move up. So really, I want NFP tomorrow to be, let me just drop to the DXY real quick. I want NFP tomorrow to really be a fake move up for the dollar. I want it to be the fakest move up on the dollar there can be. And then it just, well, it's not going to do that much. My mouse moved way too much. So, and then just like that. And then everyone's positions should be in and we just let it fly to the downside. Now, the only thing that I have against that is that just the Fed is so not with that. This thing could easily just off of NFP and just strictly because of what the Fed said the other day. So, you know, they're not done raising rates. Things aren't done yet. Everything is slowing down a little bit, but we're not done is what they said. If this thing comes down though, guys, like overnight, in a couple of hours, it could easily just boom, boom, boom. This is when the NFP is. So if this thing comes all the way down just like that, I might have to buy it, right? I might have to take the buying opportunity because everything is too bullish. We'll see how it plays out. You know, guys, it's really, NFP is really not the bread and butter when it comes to technical analysis, right? NFP really ruins people's technical analysis. So, but I'm telling y'all straight up what I'm going to be playing tomorrow. So let's look at the yens because the yens have been doing some interesting stuff. Because the yen has been popping off. And this thing looks like it's about getting ready to move up again. I'm going to remove this because this thing, I'm not going to play the downside, to be honest. I've been waiting for the downside to happen for a minute and it hasn't hit. And with the way this is looking, the last 2 months have sat right here in here, the point of control, and it hasn't wanted to break it yet. That's kind of interesting to me. So I'm going to be looking for this move like that. But it's already kind of done that. So why is this doing that? Sticking on that. I think we're getting ready to see this move up, and that is really weird. Hold on. I don't know why it's sticking on that. Oh, well. 4 hour, yeah, it kind of already has this look to it where it's triple bottomed or just not really wanting to break this area that I kind of held out. Yeah, it could make one more move down. Yes, this is a huge area of imbalance and supply. I don't want to go against it, so I'm going to leave it alone. probably just going to leave it alone. I am going to have a hard time not wanting to sell it. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have an extremely hard time not wanting to sell it. But we'll see. I'm going to try to leave it alone because it looks too tempting. GJ, we called out perfectly. AB caught a nice little move on it. And then somewhere right here. But on the weekly analysis, I was like, this looks fake for some reason. And boy, was it. So it was really ultimately just the volume wasn't really there with this break of a fresh high. Going into new highs, you should really see more volume and you had less. So I was like, I'm not trusting that for one bit. It ended up tanking. And now I will be looking for this move on GJ. Big time, big time, big time. I don't care what the yen does or the pound. This is the move for GJ for sure. So we wait. We wait. That's not a tomorrow play. That's a next week play. But this is definitely the play. How it fakes here and then gains volume as it drops. This is the important part right here. The gaining of the volume. On the 4 hour like this, you don't see this a lot. As price drops heavy, you don't see that a lot. So we're definitely going to be expecting this to drop. Oh, next week is CPI. Well, next week the market's going to move big. And CPI, ooh, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. I've been following the numbers more than ever this year because it's worth following, I guess, more than ever this year. And man, if CPI gets better, I'm not going to know what's going to happen because I don't think things are going to get better yet, but it could. All right. EJ, you know, I'm not a big fan of EJ either, but it's putting in the same type of work. It's very bullish still, though. So anything, you know, bearish is kind of trying to catch the top. And that's with all of these yens. But this looks more distributive than anything. So I kind of like this. And I want to see this happen again. I want to see it happen on AJ probably. Yep. Let's see. CAD JPY. Not as pretty. CHF definitely was a hit at first. So most likely going to continue. Let's look at gold because this is where I'm a little hurt that I didn't catch this move right here that we called out, but you know, I miss a lot of plays to be honest. Now, is gold really going to hold? Here's the thing. Does anyone really think gold is going to hold here tomorrow on NFP? How many people have buy orders right here? How many people are in buys right now? I need to know that. Mike, are you in a buy on gold already? Did you catch this low? Did you get wicked out of it? Because it's moving up. I know people are in buys, but it's moving up on low volume or none. And I know when it came down here, okay, you're not in a buy. Do you think these lows are going to get swept for NFP tomorrow? I think, ooh, silver more? Nice. I've actually been analyzing silver. It's been looking way better. I think personally, if these lows get broken tomorrow during NFP, it's going to sink. Where is it going to go? That's where we need to look. Oh, shit. I don't know. It's got my little signature. On the daily, 3 waves, but it's not how I love it. It's like a flat 3 wave instead of a big 3 wave. Well, technically, it kind of is been diverging since here. since right here it's been diverging, but we're probably going to get just one more pump down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some dumb shit that I never do and just connect some backside trend lines. And that would be kind of where I think gold's going to drop. And then the next area of demand to the left, there'd be these two areas. This would be the bottom of that area, and this would be the bottom of that area. So those will be the next 1575. That is a long ways away, but that's what it does during NFP. Gold is just it's coiling up, in my opinion, getting ready to bust a move, but not, I don't think I think we have one more move down. And then if it does that ever, then I think it'll get ready to move up. But we still probably have one more move down. And then even then, it's probably got more than that, to be honest. Fake everyone out still. That's what gold's been doing. I'm gonna have to watch gold tomorrow. And in fact, gold will be a play. We have this manipulation here. So from this swing to this swing, we're looking for a play. If it comes up to 1658, where we failed to go higher, and then manipulated those moves, if it comes into this, I'm gonna have to short it. Regardless of this triple bottom and all that shit. I mean, the only thing that I see is maybe some liquidity here, right? It didn't fully grab all of this liquidity on this spike, only just these two guys, but that's enough for me. I'm okay with that. If it can come up with that one more time. So man, one of the best setups was at the end. I was just talking my shit at the beginning of the video, but one of the best setups of the night is right there. I'm going to go into the 15-minute to see. I was about to say, if this candle is a full grown man candle and then just erased like that, that's what I want to see. I don't love to see the wick like this. So the wick, to me, is like you're going to get filled. But whenever I see that grown man candle just get demolished like that, boy, that tells me something. So it really shows there really was manipulation. And then it really did break down. Now the volume with it started to decrease. So that's interesting, but it took over right here. These two volume candles took over this one, and the price action just swept it. So when it gets back up here, this is going to be the play of the day tomorrow. I don't know. I don't like gold and NFP. They're like, gold will go way up, then way down, then way up, and then end up way down somehow. So, but this, I mean, you can't pass this setup up. This one's a good one. So right here, right here, right here, bringing it down all the way to this, almost to this 17 or 1575. That's the play right there. And to be honest, since it's NFP, it really low key should do this move like in one day. It shouldn't be like, you shouldn't even have to worry about profit taking and stuff. It should hit this area. And if this is the play, right? I'm not by any means, this could fail, but if this is the high of the day for gold, and then NFP rocket ships the dollar, this thing is going to tank, and it could be a quick move fast. So I would honestly think this low would, once the low gets swept, this TP is going to get hit faster than people think. So the TPs on this is mother freaking TP1 is right here. and your stop loss is right here, and you're risking 6.5, or you're risking 1 to make 6.5. If you want to, what I always like to do if I'm unsure, okay, I'll take half off when the market goes to 1 to 2. So this is a little tip for anyone who has trouble making money in the market. This is how you secure. I literally rarely lose money in the market. I lose trades and I go on losing streaks, but at the end of the month, I don't lose a lot of money because I'm very good at profit taking and very good at risk management. That's it. And so what I like to do a lot is when the market gives me double what I risked, I'll secure half of that sometimes. And that's a full, exactly what I risked. You secure it. If you risk $500 and the market's showing you 1,000, take 500 out. Why not? Let the rest ride to infinity and beyond, or whatever, right? So that's another place you can look for it to maybe take some profit, like right here. I wouldn't even worry, to be honest. I wouldn't. So that's the play on that. Let's look at US 30, and the second play is literally right here. Way up here. And shoot, this don't look too bad either. I'm on the 15 and I need to get off of this. Hold on. Let me make sure on the daily we're still really bullish, but look at the volume, guys. That's the most important thing. Look how dead the volume was as it started to break up, right? Okay, we had this big volume day, little candle. Okay, that didn't make sense. Okay, that didn't make sense. And then ever since then, no volume in the market. And the market is just climb. That's fake. That's fake news. Let me look at another more reliable source of volume just to make sure that the Dow is actually producing. Okay. See, that's why you got to kind of know what you're looking at, because that's not what the volume's showing as much. But what it is showing is that the bears are kind of stepping in. The bears are stepping in at the 78.6 of the swing, of the big swing. So that's very interesting to see. There is what I call hidden, I don't call it, the people who created this shit. Whoever created hidden divergence is who created it. And when you see a move like this, but we haven't quite yet broke that high, that's a hidden divergence with a trending move. You don't see it a whole lot, but when you do see it, it's a good indication that the market's about to turn around. And so that the market could be starting to turn to downside here. I like the price action on the daily. I'm going to look for this wick on the daily to hold. I'm going to look for that to hold there. This is where the most volume was. So what we're going to do, and since this is the daily volume, this is giving us the monthly point of control. Obviously, there's only been a couple of days of the month, so it's not that significant. So let's go maybe into the 4 hour, and it'll give us the weekly volume, which is, we've only had 1 week of this is the first week of November, so it's the same area. We go to the 4 hour, go back to the daily, it's going to be the same exact spot. Well, it just took it away. So 4 hour is at 32,743, daily 32,62743 is up here. Oh, it's a little different. Interesting. That doesn't make fucking sense, but oh well. Indicators aren't even calculated correctly these days, I guess. Whatever. So this is giving me the whole week's volume, basically, which is the whole month, which we're not going to get into that. But what I'm seeing is that there's an opportunity on the lower time frames, if the market does come up into this area, which was that weekly POC. So, and there's a daily point of control as well, sitting right here. So those are two areas that we're going to be watching for reaction since the market did manipulate these highs. This is definitely an area we want to look for and look at right in between. We had the 61.8 is sitting right here and the 78.6 is sitting almost right here. So that's going to be another sniper that we're going to look for tomorrow. I think gold is a lot closer. So gold has a lot better of an opportunity to play out. This would be like a spike from hell. And then it would have to just like reverse. Gold would be like it's going to get there right at NFP, and then NFP is going to send it to the downside. It's kind of risky, to be honest. This does look like it made a little manipulation to the downside and then popped out of this. We could see that move. I don't want to play that move. Let's go to NASDAQ is dead. NASDAQ died the hardest, but if it came up one more time, we were going to get it. It's starting to show this move here where we're getting the divergence. I don't want to buy it though. That's the thing. I think this thing is about to die. Look at the daily. Once it clears these lows, I don't know. It's going to start to tank. And the thing is, it's because these stocks, these tech stocks are doing so fucking bad. They were all overextended so bad. And now this is the textbooks under the trend look. I mean, under the 50 EMA, stay with the trend. I'm not trying to buy this. The candles are increasingly getting bigger. The volume's increasing. Let's maybe not try to buy the NASDAQ, even though it's at this low area where, if I'm being honest, if this is the low, this is the low. Like, this is the low, because we have this manipulation and then accumulation and all that jazz. But to me, that doesn't mean you just have to buy right here. You can still wait for more confirmation. You can wait for the structure to break. You don't have to just play it just because you see it. And to me, instinctually, it does not look good. The only thing that looks good about it is it has this falling wedge that isn't even that good on the 1 hour. So it's a 15-minute falling wedge. I'm not going to play it. The bears, not going to play it. I'm going to probably wait for, if I'm going to play it, it'll be from this swing to this low. And I think US 30 honestly looks better. Like way better. Even though this has already created the lows and hasn't broke highs, for some reason US 30 looks better to me. I still might take a stab right here. Okay, the same thing, basically. Let's get this fib out. Swing to swing, and the volume's right there. So it's the same thing essentially. A lot of the times what we'll do is we'll play all of the indices and we'll just divide our risk up evenly, and that would have been a good shot, but it never got there. Delete, yes, perfect. So this reacted really nicely off this monthly point of control that we marked off on the daily. Right here, we got that shot perfect off of it. There's another one sitting right here that it could react off of as well. It's very interesting. Let's go to the 4 hour and look at this. So we got this reaction, bow, bow. It's too impulsive to the downside for me to look for this play. I'm looking for this now. I'm looking for that big time, actually. So if we get that retracement, we're going to go in on all these indices, most likely. One more move down, and it's going to be very tempting for me not to want to buy it, to be honest, just because I see the major divergence that it's creating. And, well, that this falling wedge that is just picture perfect. So if it does kind of fall down into this, I kind of, especially low volume, it's most likely going to reverse during NFP. Just saying, or even before that. I don't know when. I'm not going to play this fib. I don't know. Hold on. Oh, it's already hit the 78.6, and then so not playing the fib. I'm just going to have to watch to see how it moves tomorrow. Low key. I really want to short it. That's what I'm going to say. I really want to short it. Let me see some crypto. Let me see some Bitcoin. And actually, real quick, I just want to glance at silver. Oh shit, silver has that same look to it, huh? Oh man, it could go up a little bit more though, and that means gold could go up a little bit more. But I would still take this shot at silver too. It kind of has that same manipulation. It's failed here. It's failed here. It kind of low key failed here, and then it could fail here again easily. So yeah, I'm still with gold. Shorts right here. Let's get it. Crypto, Bitcoin. I'm still feeling this buy right here. It is starting to coil up, and quite honestly, with it being NFP tomorrow, one of these news events is going to pop off, and Bitcoin is going to be the one that moves, or Bitcoin and Ethereum. Crypto is going to move, and nothing else is, or crypto is going to move, and everything else is going to go the other way, and it's going to be wild. I don't know when that's going to happen. Obviously, this didn't happen exactly how I wanted it to, but I do think that will happen eventually. Now, this is freaking looking too perfect, so we just got to wait at this point for this to get into better pricing. So let's delete this, and we still have this sell opportunity up here. If it gets all the way up into the 78.6, that's an opportunity, but it would have to like probably spike up there, and then it would be scary, and then that would probably be the best position, and then it would probably do something like this, and then either spike again and then drop, or just kind of spike, and then that was the best spot, and then end up like this being just total fake out move into this supply. I'm seeing the opportunity because there looks like it's going to be some divergence if that happens, and the divergence fib would lie right here, right at the 78.6 on the 4-hour. So here's what's going to happen. If the market does impulse and this happens and the market gets into the 78.6, that's going to be strong confirmation. Other than that, though, if this starts to move, if this starts to move up and we start seeing volume increasing and momentum just start to blow through the roof, and it will really show on the 1-hour. So the momentum on the 1-hour will really kind of equal something like this. And we'll see it kind of do something like that. And if that happens, well, then we'll know it's not necessarily the top. It'll create this 1-hour impulse and maybe hit this 78.6, right? And we'll be like, oh, that might be it. But really, if that's the big impulse, it probably has one more wave to make a higher high, and this will make a lower high. And that will be the shot. We'll see what happens. I'm more bullish on it, actually. I want to see it come down into these areas, but the way it's correcting, it would take a little bit longer. It wouldn't be tomorrow. And it's the same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum looks very bullish, or not very bullish, but it has an opportunity on this move right here to go bullish if it doesn't fall from this swing area, right? But the thing about this is like it swung down and then it swung right back up with a W after this. So I still think this has an opportunity. With this in its face, it lowers that probability. There is this type of divergence right here. And I was saying if it creates the third wave, right, then I will be looking for that short. And so that would be one more move up basically for that third wave. So I'm still interested in that. I'm still interested. Let's go to the 1-hour and just see how that looks actually.
it might not make it past these wicks in this manipulation. So this is wishful thinking, to be honest. Just more of a systematic way of looking at it than anything. But if we can get this to come up one more time and stay within this falling wedge, kind of come up here, spike, I might play that. I might play the spike up. We'll see. I'm not too interested in that, to be honest. I want to see if XRP is doing anything yet. Because for a minute there, I thought XRP was about to say, see ya. And it still will. I'm telling you, this is turning out perfectly. With this impulse and this retracement, this thing is gonna make a new high. I just don't know when. I don't know when. The VIX is showing some bearish signs. That's bullish for the indices. But one thing that's happening that I've never seen is the VIX is making bearish moves and the indices are making bearish moves as well. And usually when this thing goes bearish, the indices go bullish. So I don't know what's going on with this and how that's doing that, but I got to keep believing that this is going to continue down. This hasn't switched course yet for a minute. So I'm not really too worried about the VIX right now. Let's look at the dollar real quick one more time. And I think that's it. Best looking setup is gold. We're looking for that move down. And then the indices look really good as well. And then honestly, if EU makes this move to the downside at the 78.6 or at the 61.8, sorry, at the divergence fib, I think we're going to get a correction. But if it comes back up in here, we're going to get that. We got some good setups. I hope everyone got to see some good analysis, number one, and then we get some good setups tomorrow. If any of these play out, these are 1 to 6 setups. These aren't no small setups. So we'll see. Don't risk a lot on anything. Tomorrow's NFP, half risk, quarter risk. That's what we'll be doing at least. So if we lose, we ain't losing a lot. I don't care. So I appreciate y'all for coming on. We looked at every damn pair in the market. So except oil. I didn't look at oil. Damn it. I have to look at oil now. Just fast. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm done. Oil. Oil's bullish. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.